Hello everyone, Mr. Nacho here, and today I wanted to share with you a very fun build with Sagittarius. But before we start, I wanted to thank everyone who helped me get to 1111 subscribers, which is what we are at the moment of recording this video. So once again, a round of applause for everyone involved. Thank you again. I wouldn't be here where I am without your help, and I really do appreciate it. So let's get to the build. When it comes to the build, we are running the Hunter Ritualist, and the reason for it will be explained very shortly. The skills that we are using, it's the Hunter's Shroud and Miasma. When it comes to the armor, we are using the Bandit's Mask, Bandit Jacket, Trainer Work Boots, and Bandit Gloves. But the armor in this situation is entirely optional. I spec'd more into dodging in this build rather than just the typical survivability and being tough, but this is very easily recoverable. If you just don't feel like dodging, you can just slap on a heavier armor and absolutely remove traits from untouchable and fitness and just go into more triage and the strong back. When it comes to the relic, we are using the Tranquil Heart with range crit damage, crit chance and ranged damage. When it comes to the bow itself, it's Sagittarius. After the changes to Farron's Sigil, the Crescent Moon isn't really that good anymore. It's still usable, but I think that right now the winner when it comes to the bows is Sagittarius. I love it a lot. The mod on it, Starfall, is terrible. It can hit enemies if they are extremely big, like Talrafa or One True King, but in general it's just not worth using, so we will not really focus on that at all. When it comes to the mutator, we have supercharger on it just so we can charge our shots a little bit faster and that we have a little bit more critical chance. In this case, it's 15% for fully charged shots. For our melee, I chose Krelax with Tainted Blade, just so we can apply some dots. And the same idea with the Tech 22 with Hotshot and Twisting Wounds. So between those two, we have all 4 dots covered in case we ever need it, which doesn't really happen all that often. When it comes to the jewelry, we are rocking the Abrasive Whetstone, which can be activated by the Twisting Wounds, a Pipe Bomb, or simply just by Miasma, because it also applies bleeding. For the rings, we have the Archer's Crest, so that the projectile speed is increased, so it's easier for us to hit our target if they are moving or far away, or both. And it also decreases our charge time by 25%, which is perfect. With this setup, with the supercharger and the Archer's Crest, we have perfect firing speed for the Hunter's Shroud to reproc on every single shot that we take, which would be bonus 50% damage. Next up, we have the Timekeeper's Jewel, and I know what you're thinking, this is a terrible mistake, you shouldn't use it and so on, but just hear me out. Right now, the way the dots work is that whenever you have a dot that does 100 damage in, let's say, 10 seconds, if you just prolong the duration, you will decrease the damage that the dot does with every single tick. It won't do 100 damage every single time, it will deal like 50 damage over 20 seconds. But we don't really care about the dot damage, we only care about dot duration. Simply because we have the Ahane crystal, which will be the source of all of our damage. It is much stronger at 4 stacks than Xania's Malice. This is why we paired it with Probability Cord, not Xania's. And the Timekeeper's Jewel actually allows us to keep the dots up for 30 seconds on the boss, and the cooldown of the skill is 36 seconds. So we will only have downtime of 6 seconds on all of our dots, but we can just re-enable them by using the Krelax or the Tech 22, and we'll still be able to get the value from Ahane Crystal and the Abrasive Whetstone. When it comes to the traits, we have Longshot and Affliction, which are both absolutely useless on this build, simply because we have all of the dot duration that we need, and the range on the bow is already very good. We don't really need more. But these come with the archetypes, there's nothing we can do to change them. Then we have Swiftness, which if you don't really like being very fast, you might just want to change it for Flashcaster, just so you can cast the Miasma skill that much faster. This will be 50% faster, and you will cast this skill every 30 seconds. So it's up to you whether you prefer this or just being fast. Then we have Regrowth and Triage, 8 points, just so we get our HP back. Then we have also Fortify, so we have a little bit more armor. You can see we don't really have that much resistances. It's only at 31% right now. But this is just a choice that I made because I prefer dodging with this build rather than just straight up tanking. Then we have Untouchable, which increases our evade window, and Fitness, which increases our evade distance. Then we have Vigor, so we just have some HP at least, whenever, and this allows us to get hit once without going down in most situations. We have Expertise, which reduces our skill cooldowns by 20. And we didn't really go for Spirit at all because the mod on this weapon is just straight up useless. The Starfall doesn't really deserve to be used ever. I will proc it once every now and then just to show off how it looks like and how it works, but it deals less damage than just a non-charged shot, so you are wasting damage whenever you use it. Then we have Amplitude, simply because the Miasma skill benefits it from it a lot, and we will be able to cover a much wider area, and we will be able to be much further away from the boss and still apply all of the dots that we need. And 2 points into Endurance because, well, they forced us and there is nothing that we can do to stop them. Alright, so this is all for the introduction. Let's see the DPS test, and then I will show you some clips. Yeah, as you can see, we ended up about 4,500 damage. We are getting quite good crits, over 7,000. The Hunter's Shroud just keeps reprocking with every single shot that we take, which is great. And we can also just apply Miasma again, and at a very long range too, so this is a very useful skill. So as you can see, it has a lot of damage. Let's see how it looks like in action. Once again, thanks everyone who subscribed, liked and shared and watched the videos, and let's go to the clips. Oh, I almost forgot. Also, have a great day.